Rafa Nadal on numerous occasions has cited his pre-existing foot injury as causing him massive pain and discomfort whilst playing tennis. Early on in his career, many pundits and tennis commentators and fans predicted that Rafa Nadal's career would be cut short or wouldn't be as long as it has been. They thought due to his aggressive play style paired with his pre-existing injury, this would be a recipe for disaster and a short career. However, he has been able to manage his condition just well enough where he's able to continue playing, into his mid-30s and be a formidable part of the big three of tennis, him, Djokovic and Federer. If you don't know me already, my name is Matthew Fayisa and I'm a medical student from London interested in sports medicine and player injuries. If you like this sort of content, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any videos in the future, and you personally can join our ever-growing sports medicine community over here on YouTube. Nadal has something known as an accessory navicular bone. The primary function of the navicular bone is to help form and support the arch of the foot. However, due to the presence of an additional small bone, this results in a lack of support. Additionally, in this condition, individuals can be seen as having many issues with overpronation of the foot. That is when visually it looks like your ankle is leaning inwards when you take a step. This is primarily an issue with the attachment to the posterior tibialis muscle, which is responsible for preventing that kind of overpronation or overleaning of the ankle into the middle or the midline of your body. And this is because the attachment points are split between the navicular bone, which is the original bone in the foot, and the additional accessory bone, which is really too small to support the heavy duty job of that muscle. The presence of an accessory bone is not entirely rare, I would say. You've got about 10% of the population, so about 1 in 10 people having an accessory bone. However, I would say a good majority of people don't know they have it until later down the line when they're older, when the wear and tear on that muscle and on that bone starts to cause them a lot of problems. A lot of these problems arise in the midfoot, where the arch of the foot is as a result of the lack of support. They start getting a lot of midfoot pain when they start to get older, which is made worse with the inability to find comfortable footwear. With Rafa Nadal, this happened a lot earlier in his life due to the excessive pressure that he puts on his feet as he plays tennis. However, it was good to read, I would say, that alongside his shoe manufacturer and his shoe sponsorship, they helped create a custom shoe for him to help alleviate some of these problems. Alongside these doctors, they designed something referred to as orthotics, which are kind of shoe inserts that help kind of correct some abnormalities that some people may have when they walk. So with the pronation causing the ankle to kind of lean inwards, they want to put a wedge here so that it forces the ankle to kind of stabilize and prevent that overpronation that Nadal's foot would have had. So in doing so, they're kind of placing his foot in a supinated stance. This is referred to as a conservative treatment, as no active surgery or active manipulation of the bones were elected to be used by the doctors and by the medical professionals, as they thought they could deal with the issue just with shoe inserts. However, years down the line, Rafa Nadal has suffered a lot of injuries, not only due to his play style, but I'd say primarily due to the use of these orthotics over a long period of time. Because due to the forced supination of the foot, so remember that, and then that forces the foot to be like this. As a result, he suffered a lot of issues with his knees, back and hip. And this is due to the fact that as a result of the supination, he's actually had to change the way he walks. And as you can imagine, if anyone's been walking for 20-30 years of their life and suddenly has to change the way they walk, that's going to cause a lot of issues with muscle strains and ligament issues as a result of this change. In hindsight, you could say that perhaps surgery would have been the way to go, as even though it would have forced Nadal to be out for maybe a year or so, it would have probably dealt with the problem if they were able to shave that accessory bone or just completely take it away. However, when you take into consideration Nadal's age, maybe they didn't want to put him into surgery and wanted to see whether they could deal with the problem kind of in a natural way. It also doesn't help that Rafa Nadal probably has one of the most aggressive baseline styles in all of the ATP, with the massive force and the massive torque generated on his feet as a result of all that topspin and all that kind of momentum used on ground strokes. Nadal is my favourite tennis player of all time, even over Federer and Djokovic, and it is sad to see his body deteriorating over time. The more and more he plays, and tournament after tournament, you're starting to see he's getting slightly slower and slightly more injury prone. Ultimately, I think it's the best that he probably did sit out, you know, the Wimbledon and the Olympics, just to let his body recover and heal, as even in that French Open match against Djokovic, it seemed like he was struggling quite a lot during that match, not due to talent, but more due to injury. Let me know your thoughts on Rafael Nadal and who your favourite tennis player is. Be interested to see it down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel so you can personally join our sports medicine community over here on YouTube, and also not miss any videos we make in the future. Here are 2 videos that might interest you in the meantime before my next video, but apart from that, I want to say thank you for watching and I'll see you guys next time.